right, Wednesday in the Digibud. Today is September 15th, 2021. September 15th, isn't that the date that Lehman Brothers failed or filed for bankruptcy? I think it is, 2008. It's 2008, September 15th. Oh boy, the Ides of September, look out. When the debts are due, I would not be surprised if we saw something like that happen. I don't even know, have they raised the debt ceiling yet in Congress? And not that that's a big deal, because it's just bogus. I mean, it's just this stamp of approval, and they always have drama. We need to raise the debt ceiling so we can spend more money and borrow more money to fund all of the projects that don't do people any good. But I don't know that it's been raised yet, so that could be, that could be used as a political or scare event to collapse something, is all I'm thinking. They'll print money until we're going to create money until there's no ability to do it anymore. Basically, until we say it has no value, they're going to keep printing money. But the debt ceiling could be one of those things where they use it as, like I said, a political tool to scare us and, oh, that's why this happened, or oh, this is why this collapsed, because the debt ceiling wasn't raised. It'll be something silly. I talked yesterday about solar panels and silver, but any commodities for that matter, they're going to have to create more and more money to try and get those, purchase those. But again, they'll run it hot, and they're going to burn that engine until it blows up, because that's all they can do. They will never repay the debt. And then you ask yourself, who is the United States repaying? What debt? Who holds the debt? And it might be debt and treasury notes that people have purchased, but that's insignificant at this point. At one point, China had 3 billion, what was it? No, 3 trillion. I can't keep, the money's just artificial. 3 trillion in debt that they were holding of the United States, 3 trillion in treasuries. Well, they're talking about doing this infrastructure plan. It's over $3 trillion just for that. And I don't know, the last time I looked, I got the radio on, how rude. The last time I looked, I don't think the taxes that came in by the people, we get taxed on this stuff that's supposedly, pay your fair share. What is the fair share? Because if we really look at what the fair share should be and how much it costs to run the government and how much money is sent out and spent every year, we're not paying nearly enough in taxes. Actually, I think you could pay 100% of your income in tax and it still wouldn't even cover what the government's spending. I could be wrong, but it will never cover it. So you ask yourself, well, why would you work then? Why would you go to work if you're paying so much in tax that you make nothing? So what'll happen is, okay, yeah, we're going to tax everybody 100%. So everything you make is going to go to the government, and then they're going to manage it and redistribute it, so that, it's a fair proportion for everybody. Are you going to work? Are you going to work knowing that, okay, this guy over here isn't doing crap, and he's making the same that I am? Why am I incentivized to do anything at that point? Unless it's something you love. But you can do that now and not get paid. So these socialist dreams, of, it's been tried in the past, and it does not work. It just doesn't work because people are not incentivized to do anything. If I'm not incentivized to do something, am I going to do it? I'll only do it if I love it and I want to do it. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it. Why would I? Look at him, Two-Face, it's like Batman character, dark delight here. But you've got no incentive to do anything. So why would you do anything? Doesn't make any sense. But you look at this leadership and what just happened in California. I see on the news, Gavin Newsom, slips by and, wins the recall, does not get recalled as governor of California. So he remains for another year until the next election. But then you have people, saying, hey, I went to vote, and they said I already voted. What is this electoral system that we have? I mean, can we not validate who people are and show some identification and say, hey, you need to have proper ID or you're not going to be able to vote? I mean, I know that disturbs a lot of freedom people, but I'm all about freedom, but I'm all about making sure that if we're going to have a voting system, we can't have extra people voting. We can't have dead people voting. We can't have someone voting in your place. It does not work that way. So there has to be a way to authenticate. And I think blockchain could come into this. There has to be a way to authenticate people to ensure that you get one vote and that's it. And it's you who gets the vote. You get ID'd for everything else. You go to the airport, you got to know who you are. Go get a loan, got to know who you are. I mean, but when you vote, the most important thing, in this country, voting, and because it's a representative republic, we vote for people to represent us. And if we're not voting for them, they're not representing us. They're representing, I don't know, somebody who says he's you. That's the most fundamental thing that has to occur. If we don't have representative democracy, then it does not work. And you end up in a corrupt system to where the people who are in charge, people wonder how they got in charge and how can they be such buffoons and idiots and why they keep destroying America. And then you think back, well, maybe they didn't get elected. Maybe they've been selected. I mean, you've got these voting machines. Okay, this all goes back to the dangling Chad in the 2000 election between George Bush and Al Gore. It didn't get resolved until the end of the year, or maybe even right at the beginning of 2001. I don't remember. And then Bush is sworn in. Gore basically throws in the towel and, okay, we'll give you, all this money and, we'll just buy you off and you shut up. And, we're going to go this path. But it's the same family. I mean, they're all the same cohorts. It's like it's like the WWE. At the end of the day, they're having drinks together. That's all it comes down to. It's all theater. It's one big club and you ain't in it, says George Carlin. So these selections, you end up with people who don't represent your interests. But what happened in 2000 in that election when George Bush was declared the winner because Florida went back and forth and, it comes down to the dangling Chads. They show you this, problem, reaction, solution. Oh, look, when you punch these tabs out, when you do the manual voting, when you punch the tabs out, sometimes they're not completely removed from, and ripped off. So, it causes confusion in votes and whatever. But that was the excuse because people at that time said, well, how come we need to have a better system than this? So they roll out these electronic voting machines, which were ready to go. Now, I don't know about you, but I've never heard of any kind of device ever being hacked. Any electronic device ever getting hacked into. That just doesn't happen, You never see, big institutions getting hacked with all the billions that they spend on security. I mean, that just never happens, right? Wrong. Happens all the frickin' time. And so now you have electronic voting to where it's been proven that it can be easily hacked. I mean, several people have done it and showed it. And then you got these things online. And so foreign countries, if they can hack into it, they're completely putting their interests into America. So it's representative republic for China. I mean, what the frick, people? I mean, we do not have integrity in voting. We don't know once you cast your ballot on that digital screen where it goes and how it gets tallied up. You don't know. You have no idea. Because, let's see, in the blockchain, though, it's digital and it works because it's accountable and you can see where transactions go. There's an audit trail. It's a digital ledger that every computer in the network replicates. So you can't cheat. There's not a single point of failure. There's a solution. But then you have these centralized private companies running voting machines. And what are private companies in business to do? To make money. Okay. What's to say that, I don't know, someone in the company that has a little power gets compromised and gets paid quite a bit of money? And, they get a government contract and, behind, there's like some deals made. Okay, yeah, we can kind of make, leave things open and let them get hacked accidentally, of course, or maybe even just outright rig it and change the votes and flip the votes. Because what it comes down to is just that you've got somebody writing code that you can't look at. It's not open source. They're writing code and you're going to have to just abide by it. It's like running Microsoft Windows. Can you look at the code? Do you know exactly what the code is? It's not open source, so you don't know what the heck it's doing to your computer. It could be watching you all the time, logging everything that you do. And that's what we've turned our voting system over to that kind of stuff. And it's constantly happening. Every single election, somebody comes along and proves that votes got flipped, or votes got lost, or they got deleted. I mean, how hard is it to do in a digital world? Not that hard. It's all code. And when it's not open source, you don't know what it's doing. So then you wonder, well, how did we get this guy in office? This guy's a buffoon. This guy's an idiot. I think you have your answer. It's right in front of you. Because if you're thinking it, a lot more people are thinking it. And there is a silent majority out there, because the extremists on both sides, they're the ones that make noise. But you know what? They're the minority. There's all these people that are kind of in the middle. And that's your silent majority. You've got your, loud minorities. And those are the ones that get the press, because who pays the press? Look at the ads on the freaking news stations. That's all you got to do. Watch the nightly news, watch the ads, watch the advertisements, who's funding it, tells you everything. Tells you everything. It all fits together at that point. And people get paid off. I mean, there are people in positions, newscasters, through threats or just getting straight paid off, will just spout whatever's on the freaking screen. They don't care. Hey, I'm famous. I get to get in these fancy restaurants. Oh, and that's the other thing, fancy restaurants. What was it? The Linen, French Linen? I don't even know what it was out in California, where Gavin Newsom, almost a year ago, gets caught dining with, lobbyists, with no masks on in the midst of a pandemic. And oh, it's okay, though. And now we're told that, well, Gavin Newsom, he retained his governorship. He did not get recalled in California because people love the mask mandates. People love what he's doing with this pandemic. Does it make any sense? Because he's not abiding by the rules. He doesn't care. He's outside the system. He's just playing a role. He's one of the WWE characters. And if you look at it, he kind of looks like, one of the bosses that come out, It's nothing but theater, folks. It's theater. Nothing but theater. And so what we have to do is figure out how not to get wrapped up into that stuff. Problem is, they've got their tentacles all over everything because they control the money. Hey, you're not going to get you can't keep your job if you don't do what we tell you to do. All right. You're not going to get your Social Security benefits if we don't tell you, you don't do what we say, And where does it end? See, once you're on that government teat, teat, that's the word for, if you've ever watched a cow being milked, that little things that hang down, those are teats. So if you're sucking off the government teat, you're kind of a slave, aren't you? But they put us in that situation. They built it up that way over generations. Oh, Social Security, it's just a help, safety net. Now it's a hammock, as Rush Limbaugh used to say, about something, healthcare or something, It's a safety net, but now it becomes a hammock. And that's what it is. And so gradually you become dependent upon it because you can't make enough money in that system. You can't get enough poker chips in that system to get free. Now, some people can, very few, but you're playing by a lot of rules. You need lawyers, you're setting up entities and organizations, and then you'll pay no tax. And, then people get mad at it, but, they're all part of the club. Warren Buffett didn't pay any tax. Donald Trump didn't pay any tax. Well, why not? Because they know the system. We're busy grinding and thinking there's an American dream out there that we're chasing. And so, we're not focused on that system and how it works. But these families that have been around for a while and prospered, they got it down because they know the game. Now, is it fair? Well, it's a rigged game, and they just know how to play by the rigged rules. That's it. Can you blame them for that? I mean, it is what it is. But I do have a problem with it because the average guy cannot win at that system. You might get lucky once in a while, have a good idea, start a company, and, it goes gangbusters. My pillow, and it works. But it's not an easy thing to do, and then you're attacked. It's not set up to benefit the people. It's not set up to represent what our values are and our beliefs are. We are not being represented, yet we're being taxed. Do we remember that from history? Taxation without representation? And what happened? That's where we're at right now. They're taking our energy, they're taking our lifeblood, and they are not even elected by us, because everybody I talk to, they wonder how these idiots get in charge. And we know how they get in place. So, again, we've got to figure out ways to get out of that system and stop letting these vampires drain the blood out of us. So, you got to take a hard look at things and say, what is outside that system? How can I survive outside of that system? Social Security, kiss it goodbye. Because if you don't want to follow the rules, at some point you're not going to get it. Medicare, healthcare, government paid, you're not going to get it at some point. You're already seeing that right now. Well, if you don't do this, we might not be able to treat you. But you can go to a smorgasbord, a buffet every day, and become a, 400-pound diabetic, and that's okay. We're not going to address that issue. You can be an alcoholic and, have liver disease, but that's okay. We're not going to address that issue. I mean, does it make any sense? You can smoke cigarettes for 50 years, get lung cancer, and expect to be treated, and they'll treat you. But if you don't do this, then you can't be treated. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. My body, my choice. All right, sure. So that's the situation you're in. So realize, if you're freedom-minded and if you don't want to be controlled, then you got to break free from that system. You got to get off the government teat. You got to find a way not to depend on that and be your own bank, be your own boss. That's the only way out. And it's not easy. It's not. Thankfully, we have a gift in cryptocurrency to where it's outside the system. It's running its own network. And you can use it. I mean, you can use it now. There are gateways, just like, yesterday I took a little trip. I could pay with Litecoin using a Visa card. Load it up and pay with Litecoin to get some gas. I mean, there are ways to kind of transition out of it. Is that the perfect solution? No. The ideal solution is, hey, everybody I know and everybody I interact with will accept cryptocurrency. And then, back and forth, we engage in that new system. And when that new ecosystem is built, hey, we're out of here. It's like, we're in our own bubble. We've taken, off the mothership, the empire's, mothership, we've escape pod. We're out of here. It's just, that's what has to happen, but that's not an easy process. And it's so important, I think, and I'm a hands-on guy. I like physical possession of my things. And cryptocurrency at first was a little bit of a leap. I didn't believe in it at first. I knew about Bitcoin really early on. In 2013, I had bought some. And then, I got rid of it because I didn't believe in it. I wanted to experiment with it and see what it was, but I didn't hold it, and I didn't get back into it until like 2017, like most people that I know, who I know. And it's just because it has to click. You have to realize, wait a minute, this is a freedom system. This is a way out. This is something I can hold in my possession, and nobody can tell me when to spend it, when not to spend it. I went to the bank today, and I went to go through the ATM, and the lady, she's going like this, as I'm pulling up, and I'm like, oh, okay. She's lifting it up, and I had to do some repairs or load it or do something to it. So, out of commission, can't get the money out. And that's just how it is. I mean, with cryptocurrency, Litecoin, Solana yesterday, and it might still be happening. The, great promises, NFTs, I think it can do great things, but the blockchain locked up and, it's all messed up. The developers had to try and restart it, and I don't know. But again, the ATM's down, Solana's down, Litecoin's never down. And that's where I made the leap. 10 years running, this is a network to where I'm sending value anytime I want. Nothing's stopping me. I go to these meetups. Speaking of which, I got to remind myself there's a meetup coming up in Plano, Texas. I go to these meetups, download wallets, Monarch wallet specifically. Thank you for sponsoring us, me and Lisa and I, me, yeah. Thanks for sponsoring us on the happy hour tour. But download a Monarch wallet, send Litecoin, courtesy of ChangeAngel. Donated Litecoin to send to people in this crypto class that I'm teaching, and it never fails. And we do it on a Saturday when the banks are closed. Litecoin always works. It just freaking works. And there's only so many. It's a finite asset. To me, it's just like, such a no-brainer that in this digital world, that's the thing to hold and use. It's sound money. Done. Nothing anybody can do about it. No, you can't stop me from using it. So you hold it in your own possession. So it's just very important to realize that. I mean, the ATM's down, can't get cash out. What if the bank's closed? Can't do anything. Hopefully that debit card works. That's dependent upon a network, Visa network, MasterCard, whatever. Those places get hacked. Those places get shut down. At some point, they may say, you know what? Yeah, we see that you're on this list of non-compliers or anti-Americans because you won't do what the government's telling you to do. They've cut your Social Security, your Medicare, you're really kind of blacklisted. Your social score is pretty bad. So as Visa, as MasterCard, I'm not knocking them, it's just an example. We're going to just not let you use our services. Okay, now what do I do? You need to have a method where you control your money, because your money is your energy. I mean, as you get older, you realize that because you see inflation all the time, you see the price of things going up, you see your wages not keeping pace. If, as you get older, and especially when you have children, you realize, man, all I've worked for, all my energy, everything I put out there, it's not holding it. This world is not holding that value. And so you keep going and going and going, and it's like, what the freak, I can't put my money, I can't store up my energy anywhere in any form of money that's going to hold value. Gold and silver, precious metals, those have been the way, but those can be manipulated too. There's paper markets, and it's not showing its true value. It's good to hold it, I think, because it will show its true value. You can't hold the beach ball underwater forever. It will pop up, but it's just, you spend your whole life working, and not until I saw cryptocurrency, realize we're in a digital age, realize if you're going to transact, gold and silver really aren't the things. I mean, you can buy property with it, push the gold and silver across the table. You can buy big things with it. But for transacting and doing things on a daily basis, just a normal basis like we do now, by swiping the card, doing this and that, it's not efficient. It doesn't work. So cryptocurrency, since we're in this digital world, this digital age, and it's not going to stop, we need to really look at what's going to work and what can we hold. What's the best thing in the digital world? The best thing that I've found and that I've seen is Litecoin. If you're going to hold it and lock it up and as a store of value, and you're not going to, plan on spending anything, Bitcoin, just lock it up and forget about it. It's your retirement fund, savings, long-term. Litecoin, also savings, because the finite asset, the limited supply of Litecoin, which has not really caught up yet with the market. It will, and it'll be explosive. But, I mean, it just works as a payment coin. And it's also, it's like silver. It really is. It's, silver is sound money, and it's also utilitarian. I mean, it's got utilities built into it, medical industry, technology, technical industry. I mean, it serves both roles, much more than gold does. So it's dual purpose, but it's scarce. It really is when you look at the numbers. Litecoin, it is scarce. Silver, it is scarce. When you look at the total numbers and the supply of these things, when you break it down, how many people can actually own it. I've said it many times, Litecoin, if you take every person in the country and divide and distribute Litecoin equally, there's only 84 million that can ever exist, and a lot of them have been lost, so there's less than that. But let's say 84 million, and you've got, say, 330 million people in the country. It's like a quarter of a Litecoin each, like 0.25. Can't even own the full Litecoin if it's distributed equally. I mean, say you get one, that's like 4 people's wealth. And then, if you get 100, imagine, you get 100 Litecoin, what that will do for you. I mean, when this scarcity factor kicks in, it's 100. I mean, there's only so much to go around. So living in the digital world, need digital money. The best thing I found is Litecoin. That's why I talk about it all the time. Back to the meetup. Been rambling for like 5 minutes now. Back to the meetup, Plano, Texas, in September 24th. Happy hour. I love it. Happy hour with Litecoin Lisa, where I get to drop some truth, have a few drinks, and we do it every Friday at 4 p.m. Central Time on her channel. She simulcasts it on this channel. You can watch it here. The chat's better on her channel, but I mean, you know, it's always here to where you can, you know, watch happy hour Friday at 4 p.m. Central. We're going to be live this Friday giving away 1 Litecoin. 1 Litecoin to 1 person this Friday, so watch it on Lisa's channel, 4 p.m. Central Time. Charlie G on Twitter is giving away 1 Litecoin to somebody. He's going to draw it live. And then there's 2 NFTs from Miss Teen Crypto that for 2nd and 3rd place. So pretty cool. We're trying to get people out to our happy hour meetup in Plano, Texas. I want to do these things because I know there are people out there who are on the fence about crypto, and you almost need validation at some point. I needed validation. Wish I would have had it in 2013. I would have held the Bitcoin that I'd purchased, but you know, it really doesn't matter because I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. You know, it would have taken a different path. So right now, I want to be there for people who want to get into cryptocurrency and are a little scared. And that's why we're doing the Crypto 101 class, beginning crypto, the day after, on Saturday, the 25th. Go to clintwestwood.net for details. I'll have everything up for that. But the meetup on Friday night, the tickets are $100. And, you know, any money we make out of that goes right back into funding further road trips and getting to more people. So once in a while, you know, we got to raise some money. But that in so doing, you've got an open bar. You drink all you want. Bring me a drink while I'm live on happy hour, because we're going to be doing a live happy hour show there. So that'd be pretty cool. Bring me a drink and get on camera. Say hi to everybody. But it's, you know, do that anyway. Just come on up. 4 to 5 happy hour in Plano, Texas live. The event is 3 to 6. And like I said, open bar, hors d'oeuvres, fancy hors d'oeuvres, pretty good stuff. And I'll be there with Lisa. Pimpy from Pimpy's Investment Chat will be there. I think John Kim, the Lambo man, is going to be there too. I think he's going to be there. And the Ampbo, I think it's the Ampbo now. He's got Amp on the hood, Ampbo. So he's going to be there. And then several other people. Mitch, Cust Carpentry, Public Awakening is going to be there. And I'm going to forget somebody. But anyway, there's several people who have signed up. Pretty cool. I can't wait to see you all there. And I hope more people can come out. The next day on Saturday, we're going to be doing the crypto class. You're going to be downloading a Monarch wallet on your phone and sending you Litecoin. So thank you, Monarch Wallet. Thank you, ChangeAngel, for giving us and providing us that Litecoin to hand out to everybody, so that they can walk away with sound money for the digital age. You can all be your own bank. You can learn how to do that and get empowered so that you can start stepping outside that system that doesn't care about you, that vampire system. So have that Litecoin. It's that stake in the heart, you know, vampires. Check out clintwestwood.net. Next month we'll be in New Jersey, then Peoria, Illinois next in November, and then in December we're working on something in Florida, you know, because it's going to be cold in a lot of the U.S., so Florida will be a good venue. So check that out on my website, clintwestwood.net. You know, just seek out ways to be free. That's why we're doing this. We're trying to, you know, be that lighthouse that can call the boats in, and you can realize you're not the only crazy person out there, you know, thinking about this crypto stuff. We all want to be free. This is just one method, and if I can play a part in that to, you know, inspire someone to do what they were born to do, what they believe in, then I've succeeded. I mean, there's nothing better than that, being able to inspire somebody to take action, to change their lives for the better. That's really what it's about. So I love you all before I get too emotional, and I thank you for watching, and then give me a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. It will help me get more word out, you know, more people that can see this. Hopefully it affects them and can touch their lives, and maybe it'll make a difference in their lives and the lives of their family. So, sorry, have a great Wednesday. I love you all. And, that's about it. Thanks.